接下来要请出的是第11支队伍，来自韩国的 Lunit。Please check out the video.
Hi everyone, I'm Anthony from Lunit. We are bringing the most advanced artificial intelligence technology into medical imaging space. And we are also a company that is chosen by CB Insight early this year as one of the leading AI startups in the world, especially in the healthcare space. So we are currently working on various projects right now for today, but today I would like to talk about the lung cancer because over 36% of world's lung cancer deaths are coming from China. And this number is very, very big and the largest one in the world, and actually the largest number among the older cancer types in China. So this is a huge problem. So the best solution for this problem is to detect the lung cancer as early as possible, which is called cancer screening. So for lung cancer screening, chest X-ray is the most widely used medical imaging test because the cost is very low and the radiation dose is also very low. But the problem is in its accuracy. So according to the study, about 40% is the misdiagnosis rate in lung cancer detection. This is too big. So there are two reasons for that. First, chest X-ray exam is too simple to detect small lung cancer by using human visual system. And the second reason is increasing workload of medical doctors who should read those images. So in fact, the number of medical images is increasing like crazy with 30% of increasing rate annually, but the number of doctors is not increasing that fast. So this problem is getting worse and worse as time goes on. So we need to fix this problem. But fortunately, we have a great technology for solving this problem, which is called artificial intelligence. So just imagine an AI that can detect a lung cancer from chest X-ray just better than human being with superhuman accuracy. And imagine a world where you can access to this amazing AI from anywhere in the world with the power of cloud computing technology. This is the solution we created, which is called Lunit Insight. Lunit Insight is a cloud-based artificial intelligence for medical images. So we start this project with lung cancer detection project, but as we move on, we realize that this AI can get better and better as we put more medical images onto it. So now it supports other medical conditions, including tuberculosis, pneumonia, as well as pneumothorax as well. So let's take a look about how it's going on in practice. So this is basically a cloud-based software. So the simple web browser is all you need to have. So you can just drag and drop the image onto the screen, onto the web browser, and that's all. And the detection results comes up to the screen right away. And this specific example is very challenging because the lung cancer was hidden behind the ribs. But you can see that our AI can show you the exact location of the tumor, so you can easily review the images with no mistake. So let's talk about accuracy. So in this kind of product, accuracy is very important factor. And the accuracy level of Lunit Insight is entire on another level. So we conducted a clinical validation study with 19 medical doctors involved, which is actually the largest one in this field. And the result was quite amazing. We proved that Lunit Insight is able to improve human accuracy by up to 14%. This is very big number. And when it comes to tuberculosis detection, the overall recognition accuracy is about 97%, which is record-breaking number actually, and also beyond the human level as well. Okay, so let me talk about how we do it. Our main competence comes from two factors. First is very large-scale medical data, and the second one is very competitive AI team. So first, Lunit Insight learned over 10 years of clinical data from top 8 general hospitals in South Korea, which covers more than 25% of entire cancer patients across the country. So this is huge data, and this big data is used for training our AI by our very, very competitive AI team, which is proven by winning various global AI challenges ahead of teams from IBM, Microsoft, or Google, or Tencent. So those two are our main competencies. And our initial traction mostly comes from national agencies because the current commercial market is in the early stages. So the Lunit Insight is currently being adapted into National Tuberculosis Association as well as the Armed Forces Medical Command in Korea. And the main business strategy is to deploy our model as a SaaS-based model that runs on the cloud. And actually, the Lunit Insight in China is running on the Alibaba cloud right now. So if you're interested in trying this one, just come to me after my presentation. And for those customers who are not familiar to cloud computing, we are also open to deploying our model in an on-premise way or a library licensing model as well. And the target market size in China is about 4.5 billion RMB, assuming that we charge 10 RMBs per each API call. And we can move on to the bigger market, actually multi-billion dollars market, by scaling out to other countries and by scaling out to other medical imaging domains. And actually, currently we are working on Lunit Insights for mammograms and CT scans, as well as digital pathology images. And those amazing technologies are being developed by our super competitive full-stack AI team, which is consisted with 12 neural network engineers, as well as 7 medical doctors who guide them. And to date, Lunit is funded around $5.8 million so far from various venture capitals, including SoftBank Ventures Korea. And also, we are currently raising $10 million as our Series B round, targeting the end of this year. So using that money, we will conduct a very large-scale multiple clinical validation study, as well as we will develop an initial revenue stream from commercial market, especially from Eastern Asian market. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lunit. 接下来我们看评委的问题。Questions?
你刚才提到的每次收费10元人民币左右，这个付费方是谁？是患者还是医院还是科研机构啊？
So you mentioned that 10 kwai in the Chinese market. Do you charge? Who do you charge?
Okay, so the basic model is on assumption, but the model is based on a SaaS-based model, so we will charge our counterpart who use the API. So that would be other medical device vendor or medical cloud platform vendors.
你的那个演讲里提到，就说你击败了这个 IBM 和微软的团队，那么主要是哪个方面你比他有优势？
What advantages do you have over IBM or Microsoft?
刚才有个排名，他排在第一吗？
You were ranked number 1 in one of the charts in your PowerPoint.
In ImageNet.
Yeah, and I can understand.
Image Act challenge. So there was a chart in your PowerPoint, and you're ranked #1 over IBM and Microsoft. So what advantages did you have to compete and win over them?
Oh, okay, I understand the question. So many people say that deep learning is getting commoditized, but when it comes to the specific application or specific industry, that is wrong, I think. So we have very extensive experiences in developing some neural network models using medical images. So we have, at that time, we had more than 2 or 3 years experience in dealing with that medical imaging. So that's why we could create the most successful AI model ahead of teams from IBM. That's what the experience.
另外一个问题就是说，是你的这个肺癌的识别技术可以用到其他的癌症吗？比如说乳腺癌、什么癌这样。
So the diagnosis of the lung cancer, for example, can it be used and applied to other cancers, for example, breast cancer and others?
Actually, the same model is not able to be applied to other cancer types, but the development methodology or pipeline can be easily applied to other cancer types. So that's why we can easily scale out to other cancer types. So as I showed in the presentation, so we started from the lung cancer detection solution, but we could easily scale out to breast cancer and other cancer types or other imaging modalities with very low adaptation cost.
你们在韩国扩张可能有非常丰富的资源。那如果你进行国际业务的扩展的话，你觉得你会碰到最大的问题是什么？
You obviously have a lot of resources in Korea, in South Korea, but what advantage and what's the biggest challenge you will have expanding your international businesses?
So the biggest challenge for us to scale out to international other countries is the regulation issues. So we need to have the regulation cleared in each countries. So for now, we are expecting our initial regulation in Korea is cleared within this year, but in other countries, like for example, the United States and China, we will clear the regulation process until the end of next year. So that's the most important limiting factor of us, the scaling out to the other countries.
Thank you. 还有其他评委的提问吗? Do we have any other questions from the judges?
I have one more question. So you mentioned that your accuracy is 14% better, right, than the physicians.
Yes.
How many samples you guys have done?
So typically, that's the kind of a medical research. And for those kind of research, the sample size is quite smaller than we usually see in the IT papers. So the sample size was about 200 samples, but that is very carefully chosen by physicians. And this is actually the largest number across the other medical research papers.
我们还有其他问题吗?
刚才呢，我那个问题再延续一下，就是说，你说是机构或者说是他们来付费的，他们是付费是应用在科研领域还是实际的临床领域？如果是用在实际的临床领域的时候，他是把所有的案例都通过咱们来做看片，还是说只是其中的一部分用咱们来做看片？
So you mentioned that you charge the organizations. Do they pay you the money to mainly used in clinical field or used in research?
Right now? Yeah. So the Korean government agencies like Tuberculosis Association or Korean Army is using our software for free for now because we are in the pilot stage. But in the later, we will charge them by case by case manner. So we will charge all the users of our software, everyone, even though the classification results are positive or not.
Thank you very much. Time's up. Thank you, Lunit from South Korea. Please be seated. Thank you very much.